Hey guys, welcome back. Robocraft Early Access coverage. This is episode 101. I'm Enigmaeus, and today, as promised, the Panther Bee in 4 more matches, trying to get a feel for how the Panther Bee is going to perform in a number of different categories. The ability to move around stably and reliably, the ability to get all of its guns on a target stably and reliably, and the ability to perform in terms of what you would expect from the offensive potential of a bot in a tier 10 match relative to the alternatives given the restrictions on rails. So here we've got a Megabot, and I decided, you know what, let's take out his wheels. We got one wheel and then it's back. Like 2-3 seconds later, medics just follow the Megabots around. So we're relocating. We're taking a lot of fire. We're relocating. We come around here, you see basically the whole team is up there. They're moving up fairly well. And then over this guy, it's a Tesla Flyer. It's a Tesla Flyer. He's got, I don't know how many Tesla blades on there. He clipped me on the way by. Wasn't able to do a ton of damage, but definitely I noticed I lost a leg or two. 3, maybe. But all my guns are still there. I've got enough rotor blades to get around, and I kind of looking up in front of me, and then bam. Look at all his blades are still fully charged. Why would anyone want to use a railbot when you can do that? I mean, really, for all the headaches and the nonsense, when you can fly around and basically one-shot tier 10 bots? It doesn't make sense to me why anyone would want to do this crap with the rails and all the thought and all the nonsense that goes into trying to design a viable bot that can get around to where it needs to go and get shots on target and survive long enough to actually do it all. Apparently it's a huge ask right now. Railguns are supposed to be on the ground, getting bombed all day long. That's what they're for, because why else would they be designed this way? So we got this guy. He's trying to do his thing. We got a good clean shot on him. Then we hit an electroplate, missed the third shot and the fourth, and he's headed to the ground. We did a good chunk of damage to him. I wouldn't say necessarily it's a reflection on the weapon itself. I think it's more a case of his bot design lending itself to taking big chunks of damage from rail shots. We've seen what the flying squirrel can do, and I might make reference to this more than one occasion throughout this video. Is the flying squirrel eats rail shots. That's what it does. It's like diet food. It helps it lose a little bit of weight, but overall it's not going to kill it. It's just, that's kind of how the flying squirrel treats it. It's possible to survive rail shots quite handily. It's just a question of how the rail shots are applied and to what and in what circumstances. And it doesn't really matter when this happens all the time. See, one of the things that came to mind when I originally came up with the idea of the copter or the rotor blades, copters, I hate that word, sorry. The rotor blades and the legs is that the rotor blades are stable flight, and then you can kind of have controlled descent, land. The legs, see, the legs are going to do what the legs need to do, and the legs aren't doing it. The legs are probably working against us, as walker legs are prone to do, has been our experience with anything really that we've done with walker legs and flight of any kind. The original Spider Bee, all of it. It's just not very good. And right now what's happening is we're a bot with a number of functioning guns that can't help our team because we can't control the bot. It keeps flipping over for absolutely no reason. So that's a major strike against the bot. And I'm sure those of you who watched the previous video saw the same kind of difficulties we're having and saying, yeah, you can't really have a bot that's doing that and expect to be able to contribute on a regular basis. So we finally get ourselves into a position where we can be moderately useful, get some damage on some targets, help our teammates. We've got a couple of bots coming up the valley here, and they're going to see me in a second, spot me, shoot me. So I back up to get out of their line of fire. This is what I'm talking about. I mentioned in a video a while back the benefit of the elevated position, and a lot of people were very not agreeing with me about the benefits of the elevated position. The fact of the matter is that guy down there just lost all of his guns, and there wasn't a damn thing he could do about it, because he was fully exposed and he's on ice, which means if he can't get to cover, I can have my way with him. But if I decide that I'm taking too much damage from him, I take a few steps backwards and I'm completely behind cover, and I have complete dominance over the situation until he relocates, which in this case he couldn't do very well because of the ice. But we took all of his guns, a little bit of surgical firing there. That was kind of fun. And then we come down here, hoping to get a little bit closer so that we have, better opportunities to line up good, meaningful shots. And the enemy advanced at approximately the same time. So we come down. That was a decent landing, all things considered. Dropped in behind the ridge to cover so that we can kind of get a feel for what's going on and adjust our position, get ready to shoot. And that's not going to work out so well. There's this guy down there. He's decided he wants a piece of me, and then I'm going to spin around, and the guys over there, they want a piece of me, and that's it. Pretty much game over. Now, the one benefit to me in this case is that it doesn't appear to be much by way of enemy bots left that can do a whole lot to me. There's that one guy kind of down in the river there who looks like he could get up onto ridges and stuff, but I think he's a little bit busy. So normally this is the kind of spot where, first of all, I try and see whether or not I can relocate my bot at all. Do I have any control over this thing? Can I reasonably expect to move it in any way? The answer is no, and you'll see me trying throughout the rest of this match, the minute or two that it's going to last. So not being able to move, not being able to fight, and not being likely to be destroyed by enemy bots anytime soon, this is the point of the match where I make the decision, is our team really in a position where it's worth my while to sit here and wait and see if they might win the match? So, if I'm trying to get a daily double bonus, sometimes that's the way it has to be done. Or am I just doing myself a favor by self-destructing and getting into the next match? In this one, it looked like we were in pretty good shape. You can see we've got a couple of guys down there by the base. They're not in the best of shape. They're pretty beat up, but they're still able to fight. And there's the enemy Megabot down there, who by all appearances has no weapons left. And our guys are basically just picking them apart as best they can with what they've got. And then the SMG cruiser that I shot the guns off is going to show up momentarily here and start trying to pick a fight. Actually, I think he's already up there. He might already be up there. Trying to cap, sitting on there. He's got no guns. He can't fight. What is that? What else is he going to do, really? Realistically speaking. I mean, he's going out like a champ. He can't fight, but at least he's on the base trying to cap. And our guys are going to pick him apart. And I'll get my daily bonus. It was worth about 150,000 RP for what little I did. Stripped the guns off one guy. Destroyed about a little over half of the first guy that we saw. Not great. Not really entertaining gameplay, I have to say. Over a span of time like that, 8 minutes of boredom for 2 minutes of entertainment is really not a fair trade-off. And it's a function of the weapons themselves. It's a function of the design limitations and the behavior of the movement, just flipping you over for no good reason. That enemy rail flyer just got blasted. As soon as he was lit, he took one shot and he was done. So now this is the same thing. Try and find an elevated position without overstepping where I'm going to support the team and not necessarily abandon them and just be the lone sniper kind of thing. I really like that role, but it's not always the best thing to do. So I'm trying to focus on, where can I go to best support my team. We've got this bot down here. He's, kind of doing his thing, and he sees me, and he doesn't like being shot. Most flyers don't like being shot by railguns. So I realize I'm taking fire from at least 2 plasma sources. And this guy's hiding down in the valley. And I realize I've got my laser right over his head. And he's not going to peek up unless I do something about it. So I tilted it down a bit to trick him into thinking I got bored and went after someone else. And then I realized in that little cat and mouse exchange that the enemy bots had actually come through the tunnel and were on the other side. And I was on the wrong side of the tunnel all of a sudden. And then down in here I'm thinking to myself, well, haha, they can't kill me from here. The ultimate humiliation. Here comes the meta cover. While I'm trying to reload, I got my one last shot I got off and I hit him. And now I'm waiting to reload. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. Medics. The other sniper. Have you seen what medics do to TX1 SMGs and wheels? You'd almost think that they had no need for offense, that they were already filling a niche very well without it. But opinions, So this is another one of those things. Look at that, right off the bat, it's trying to flip me over on my back. nice controlled soft landing right on the edge to pull myself over, and then I'm thinking I'm not jumping up in the air anytime soon. We're safely landed. We're in a good position. We've got a nice little ledge here we can peek down from, see what materializes, see what the enemy plans on doing. Keep an eye on the skies. It's very important. It's so easy to get tunnel visioned on what's happening on the ground because it's fun when you've got that advantage of the elevation and the ridge for cover. Here comes a medic. There goes the medic. I heard the hills are broken. He's going to repair them. That's why he's abandoned his team to get up here. So there's an SMG cruiser. You'll see him again in the match. We got one shot on him, and then the second one misses, and the third one hits the wall. But we did get one shot on him, and that's our last encounter with him. And then all of a sudden, the enemy's capping, which is kind of cool. Good for them, because I never saw it coming. And it's more than one enemy. It looks like they pushed really, really hard up the other flank. And there's the guy that we shot, and he's cruising along on his roof, and he's got thrusters, so he can keep going, but he's still on his roof. So here comes the enemy Megabot and his pals. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, you know what, at this point I should probably relocate. But I've got loaded guns, and these guys are misbehaving down here. There's a lot of them. They're in a pretty dominant position right now with the Megabot and the medics and whatnot. Not the best place for me to be, but by the time I decide that I want to move, bam, over on the back. And we get right side up. What else are we going to do? We got one gun. Rotors that don't really want to help us fly, they just want to flip us over, and some legs. I think the bot looks actually better, kind of better this way without the thing holding the guns over it. It looks like it could be kind of badass in some way, but that's not the design. There's only so much we can do. Thank you to the enemy for helping to redesign my bot. And then here comes the SMG climbing the walls. Kind of makes you wonder why I've got so much CPU tied up in rotors when you can just get some hover blades and thrusters and up the walls you go. It's just one of those things, makes you wonder. So that'll be about it for the Panther Bee Mk.II. It's not salvageable. The design is the rails require too much, the movement components require too much, and so this is its destiny. And what are we going to do next? Well, we're going to do a little bit of match footage in the Flying Squirrel and Pretty Ape Machine. 1 or 2 episodes. We're probably going to do some lower tier builds that are inexpensive so that I can continue to earn RP towards a Megabot. The goal is to build a Megabot, but it's a big goal. It's a big ask. And I don't want to make any promises about any other tier 10 bots until I've really kind of considered the options. I would like to do another one. From the looks of things, if you want to make RP, the best way to do that is to build a medic, but we'll leave that alone for now. So if you want to be notified when I add those episodes, and there will be more, there will be lots more, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on the social media. Links for that in the information section below the video. Please leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.